Hey everyone, so I'm back, another cooking video. This time chicken empanadas. It sounds a little odd, sounded odd to me too at first, but once you make them or try them or see them, they're really good. So give them a chance. So first we're going to start off making a sort of pie crust that's for the empanadas. So you want 1 1/4 cups of flour, all purpose. Then just a dash of salt. I mean, if you want to be exact, about like 1/8 of a teaspoon or 1/4 teaspoon. Then what you're going to want to do is leave out a little flour for later. Not from the 1 1/4 cup, but just some extra, because we're going to roll out the dough later and when we prepare our empanadas. So also you're going to want to add in cutting up of some unsalted butter. You can use salted butter, but if you do, then do not add in the salt. So just cut it up into like about 1/2 inch pieces, and then we're going to use a pastry blender to turn them into fine bits. So you don't have to use a pastry blender. I mean, if you have one, it works best, but you can just use like 2 forks or 2 knives or something like that. So it's just 1 stick of butter or 1/2 cup. So just work it, the butter, until it's broken up real fine into very small pieces, like we did in another video, but I did in another video before when I made pecan pie and I was making the crust for that. So I will break this up and I'll be back to you once I have with the next step with the water. Okay, so I'm back now. As you can see, they're in very small pieces. Give you a good view of it here. See, small pieces. So next you're gonna want to have 1/3 a cup of cold water. So this is what's gonna bring it all together. So it doesn't have to be cold water. So then you're just gonna want to work it in with your hands. So it does have to be cold water, but it doesn't have to be exactly 1/3 cup. It might be a little bit more depending on just how the mixture comes together. So if it's really dry and not coming together, add a little bit more water, like a teaspoon at a time, and work it together and see how it's going. And if it's not coming together, keep adding a teaspoon at a time until it comes together right. So it's going to look very very dry at first. So I would work it for a while. It shouldn't take you forever, but like maybe 5 minutes at the most. If not after that, then add more water. So it's going to be dry at first. It's not supposed to be very, very sticky. Maybe a little, but so this, based on the looks of this, mine might need a little more water. So now, while I'm doing this, I just want to mention you need part of the next step for what's in these. These are kind of like little pastries, and the empanadas are basically like chicken pastries, I guess you could say. So you're going to want to boil some chicken. So I would watch the video before all the way through, because you're gonna want to boil some chicken, and you're gonna need shredded cheddar and Kolby Jack cheese, and some, it's called cumin, a seasoning, and cream cheese. So that's gonna be what's in these, and I'll give the specific amounts when we're actually doing it, but I'll just let you know ahead of time. So I'll finish getting this together and adding some extra water, it seems like, and then I'll be back with making the filling for it. Okay, so now we're back, and get out about 2 cups of the boiled chicken and shred it up like I've done in the bowl here. Really nice and shredded. Just not large chunks of it, just real shredded up, like you can see here. So mine is a little less than that, most of the ingredients I'm doing, but add what I tell you. This is just because I don't have the proper amount of chicken at the moment. So what you're gonna want next is about 1/4 of a regular stick of cream cheese, or about 1/3 of it. So about 3 ounces of the cream cheese, or 1/3 of it. So just put that in there, and this is gonna kind of hold it together. So that's good. And then also you're gonna want about a cup to 1 1/4 cups of the Kolby Jack, cheddar jack cheese. So now mix that together some. So, as you can see, it's coming together a little. So just keep mixing that up until it's combined nicely. Now you can, excuse me, this is your own thing, so you can add some more cheese if you want. You can do whatever you want. I just suggesting the appropriate amounts. And as always, I'll leave the ingredient amounts in the description. So next, add in about 1/2 tablespoon of the ground cumin. Now this I will definitely leave in the description because I don't think if someone said it I'd know what they were saying, so, or what they were talking about. So 1/2 tablespoon of ground cumin. Now mix that together again, make sure it's all together. So you can just look at yours and whatever you want to do. If you think like maybe it could use a little more spices, you can spice it up with whatever you want. Maybe some pepper, some oregano, I don't know, whatever you would like to do. So you can add more cheese, but I would start off with the things I told you. So I will get the dough back out from the refrigerator and be back when we are ready to put it all together. Okay, so I'm back now. Have your chicken mixture out, your dough out, and the flour I mentioned earlier to coat the surface of your working area. And then this is useful. So dumpling press, I always use this, but you can just use and a circular cutter. So you can just use the circular cutter and then fold it over, but this is very useful because it folds it over for you and it presses it together. So let's get started. So get the flour, coat the surface, then get some flour on top, and then on your rolling pin. So roll it out till it's pretty thin. You don't want it too thin, or else the chicken and stuff will bust through the dough. But if it's too thick, then it's just gonna be a lot of dough when you're eating them. So it's good to make your crust. Less dough whatever you want to call it, from scratch, because it makes it real crispy and flaky, which is a very nice way for your crust to be, and that's really how you want it. So bear with me, just want to get the whole process here. So I'll roll one area thin and I'll show you how to do it. And that's all you really have to do. And you just can repeat that same step over and over until they're all done. So let's check. I think this should be thin enough. Let's get a few more rolls and let's see. So you just do that, just kind of put it there and then, okay, now, got lucky it wasn't sticking too much yet. So this is a good size for thickness about, so if you can see that, that's about good. So then let's just put that right here so you can see. So kind of stretch it out a little and get it onto the thing. So then takes a little bit of your chicken mixture. You don't need too much, or it will bust through, as I said before. And then you're going to, what is optional is brushing the egg, the sides of your dough with egg. But you don't have to do that. And I don't think I'll be doing that today, since the dough is sticking together fine. It's only really if you need it. It just helps the dough stick together. So you can see this, it looks nice. Chicken's not busting through or any of that, so put in a little flour or something just to keep it from sticking. And set it off to the side. Just repeat that step over and over until they're all done. The dough's gone or your chicken's gone, either one. And then I'll be back. Then we are gonna need the egg, and we can paint the empanadas with them. It gives it a nice golden color. So you're gonna bake them at 400 degrees and for about 15 minutes or so. But I will be back before then. Hey everyone, so I'm back. Everything's all cleaned up now. It's all great. So you want to start. Take just a brush. Whisk up some egg. You can do it just with the brush. It's not hard. Or the fork, whatever you wish. And then just lightly do a little layer on top of each one. So it doesn't have to be too much, just a light layer. And this gives them a nice like brown look on top. Nice browning on top, which looks really nice. So just do it for each one. And you're gonna bake these at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes about. But just watch for them to turn brown, and that's pretty much it. Because none of this really contains except for on the top, and once that's turned brown, that's cooked. So that's all you want to do. And once the crust is crisp, obviously. So these are really good. So give these a chance. And if you haven't had empanadas before, these are good. So thanks for watching this video, and I will show you a picture of what they look like at the end. And I'll leave all the little measurements down below in the description. So thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time.